Did you know that 1/3 of the people we know are introverts? Welcome to our discussion on Susan Cain's insightful book, Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. Let's start by defining introversion. Introversion is a personality trait characterized by a focus on internal feelings rather than external sources of stimulation. Introverts often prefer solitude, enjoy deep conversations over small talk, and may feel drained by social events. They are not necessarily shy. They simply find energy in their own company or in the company of a select few. Now let's contrast this with extroversion. Extroverts are energized by social interactions and external stimuli. They tend to be outgoing, enjoy social gatherings, and often thrive in team-oriented environments. They recharge their batteries by being around others, by sharing and connecting. It's important to know that neither trait is better than the other. They're just different ways of interacting with the world. Yet misconceptions about introverts abound. They're often labeled as antisocial, aloof, or even unfriendly. But these stereotypes couldn't be further from the truth. Introverts simply have a different way of engaging with others and the world around them. Introverts can be passionate, determined, and sociable. They're often great listeners, deep thinkers, and creative problem solvers. They might prefer a quiet night in with a good book or a deep conversation with a close friend over a night out with a large group. And that's okay. In a world that often celebrates extroversion, it's easy to overlook the strengths of introverts. But introverts bring a unique set of skills and perspectives that can greatly contribute to our communities, workplaces, and relationships. They provide a balance to the extroverted energy, offering depth, insight, and a different perspective. So let's debunk the myth that introversion is a weakness. It's not. It's a different yet equally valuable way of experiencing the world. It's time we value and appreciate the quiet power of introverts. After all, they make up 1/3 of the world's population. Introversion, a unique personality trait, is not a weakness but a source of unappreciated strengths. In a world that can't stop talking, extroverted traits are often seen as the ideal. But is this always the case? We live in a society that appears to be in love with extroversion. The charismatic leader, the life of the party, the outgoing individual who can strike up a conversation with anyone, these are the people who are celebrated and admired. This cultural bias towards extroversion is particularly prevalent in Western societies, where being sociable and outgoing are often seen as indicators of success. This preference for extroversion permeates various aspects of life, from our schools to our workplaces. In classrooms, students are encouraged to participate in group discussions and work on team projects. Those who prefer quiet reflection or solitary study may be seen as antisocial or unengaged. In the workplace, the bias is even more pronounced. Open-plan offices, team-building exercises, and brainstorming sessions are the norm. Employees are often evaluated not just on their work, but also on their ability to network, collaborate, and socialize. Introverts, who may prefer to think before they speak or work independently, can often feel marginalized or overlooked. This widespread preference for extroverted traits is what Susan Cain refers to as the extrovert ideal. It's an ideal that not only favors extroverts but also undervalues the unique strengths and contributions of introverts. Introverts may be quieter, but they are also often thoughtful, creative, and perceptive. They can be excellent listeners, deep thinkers, and innovative problem solvers. They bring a different set of strengths to the table, strengths that are often overlooked in a world that can't stop talking. It's important to remember that neither introversion nor extroversion is inherently better or worse. They are simply different ways of interacting with the world, each with its own set of strengths and challenges. A society that truly values diversity and inclusion needs to recognize and appreciate these differences rather than favoring one over the other. The extrovert ideal often overlooks and undervalues introverts, but it's time we challenge this notion. Let's strive to create a world that values the power of quiet and celebrates the contributions of both introverts and extroverts. Introverts have unique strengths that can contribute to creativity, leadership, and innovation. Welcome to the quiet revolution. In a world that often prioritizes extroverted traits, the power of introverts can be overlooked. But let's not forget, introverts have been behind some of the most profound ideas and innovations. They often possess a deep capacity for concentration, a characteristic that allows them to delve into complex problems and think outside the box. Consider the realm of leadership. The common stereotype is that a good leader is outgoing, charismatic, and sociable. But this isn't always the case. Introverted leaders with their thoughtful and reflective approaches have shown us time and again that quiet can be powerful. They listen more, they're detail-oriented, and they tend to make well-thought-out decisions. They lead not by being the loudest in the room, but by inspiring trust and respect through their actions. But how do we shift societal attitudes to recognize and value these introverted qualities? This is where the quiet revolution comes in. It's a movement, a shift in perspective, introduced by Susan Cain in her groundbreaking book, Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. The quiet revolution is not about favoring introversion over extroversion, but rather about achieving balance. It's about understanding that both personality types have unique strengths and that both should be valued equally. The quiet revolution seeks to challenge and reshape societal norms and biases. It encourages us to rethink our definitions of success and leadership, to move beyond the extrovert ideal. It's about creating spaces where introverts can thrive, where they're not overlooked or undervalued, but rather recognized for their unique contributions. In essence, the quiet revolution is a call to action. It's a call to embrace diversity in personality types, to create a more inclusive society that values quiet contemplation as much as outspoken charisma. It's about recognizing that the world needs both the talkers and the thinkers, the social butterflies and the bookworms, the extroverts and the introverts. The quiet revolution is reshaping societal attitudes towards introversion. It's time to value and accommodate both introverted and extroverted qualities. Introverted children face unique challenges in school and social settings. How can we support and nurture their strengths? Introverted children may often be misunderstood, seen as shy or withdrawn, when in reality they are simply processing the world in a more internal and thoughtful way. They may prefer solitary or one-on-one activities over large group interactions, and they often need quiet time to recharge their energy. Parents and educators can support these children by recognizing and honoring their need for solitude. Create safe spaces for them to retreat and recharge, and respect their preference for deep, meaningful interactions over casual small talk. Encourage their natural curiosity and creativity, often found in introverted children, by providing opportunities for independent study and creative expression. Remember, it's not about making them more extroverted, but about helping them flourish as they are. By understanding and appreciating the unique strengths of introverted children, we can help them thrive in a world that often values extroverted traits.